Hello everyone, today we're going to work on the workflows from Rhino to having a PDF with line weights without going through Illustrator. What you want to do is make 2D of the structure you have and separate the different line weights that you want to have into different layers over here. So for that you go to layers, select the parts that you want to have a different line weight and line type and put them into different layers. And so, for example, here I have 3 layers, one here, and the last one that are the railings. And so, in order to edit the line type and the line weight, you'll see over here in layers, line type, and print width. And it's defaulted to continuous for line type and default for print width. But that can be changed by double-clicking. And here you'll see that you can have a continuous line, a border, center, dashed, dots, and hidden. But you won't see it on the model view, which is the normal view on Rhino, and you'll have to go to paper view, and I'll teach you how to do that later on. And for print width, if you double click on it, you'll see that you can change the line weight, going from default, which is 0.0 millimeters, to 2 millimeters. And that is extremely heavy, so you don't want to use 2. You want to stay up here. And if you see here, you'll also have print color, and the print color is the color in which it will print. So you can edit the line type, the line weight, and the color in which it will print to PDF. You might want to keep it in the grays and in the blacks so that your drawing can be accurate. One helpful thing to do when you're treating the model space as a paper space is go on display, and here on background you can use a solid color and then change that solid color. So I would use white, and from there you can just move your drawing into this white space in order for you to see it better. And once you have that white background, if you want to see what your drawing will look like, you can write print display and turn the state from off to on, and that will show you exactly how your drawing will come out. The line weights and the line types might be a little bit off, but generally what your drawing will look like. So if I decide for my black lines to change them to dashed lines, and for example change it to 0.80, you'll see that it starts to incorporate that thickness. As well as the line type. See here it's dots. You never want to go too thick because your drawing will become illegible. Now this is model space, but you can work in paper space and to print, and for that you'll see a little plus sign here. You click on new layout, and then you'll be able to change the name. So 1030, for example, and then you can choose the orientation of your paper, so portrait or landscape, as well as the dimensions in inches. Make sure that your units are in inches as well. And you can select the printer. And for this, you can just select Adobe PDF if you plan to print PDFs. So click OK. And so it creates a layout for you where your drawing is incorporated into that window. If you double click into that window, you'll be able to zoom in and zoom out. As well as move it where you want it to be. And basically you're working in model space within your paper space. And you double click outside of the window to reactivate paper space. Now, if you want to set a scale for your drawing, you click on this outline, and you will be able to see the scale that it is currently set in. So here, 1 foot equals 9.3 feet. Here, 1 inch equals 9.3 feet, but you can change the scale yourself manually. So if I want 1 inch to equal 20 feet, then I can do that and then position my drawing within my paper space. And then double click out. Now when you're done, you want to do File, Print, and from there you'll be able to print a PDF or actually print it from a printer as well. So here we want to do print a PDF. Make sure that here on the view and output scale, if you want it to have the same scale as the one you set, make sure that it says 1 inch equals 1 inch. So 1 inch on paper equals 1 inch in model. Or depending on what your scale is on the paper space, this is what you should do. So once everything is set, you can print. And so if you click print, that will print to PDF, and you can open that PDF and print from your computer from there, or use it as a PDF itself. Now if you don't want to use this workflow method, you can also use Illustrator. And for that, we'll go back to our model view. And you want to make sure that your drawing is at the origin of the Rhino file. So for that, you can select it, move it, click on a point, and then write 0, and that will take you to the origin. And the reason why you want to do that is because Illustrator works with the origin of your file. So if it's not at the origin, when you scale it and import it into Illustrator, you won't be able to find it within the page. Now if you want to export it into Illustrator, you select whatever you want to export, click Export Selected, save it onto the desktop as an AI file. Make sure that it's an AI file. Save. And now it'll ask you if you want a snapshot of the current view, and you can do that when you don't need to scale your drawing. So if you just want to export a random drawing without a scale, you can take a snapshot of the current view. Now if you do want to preserve the scale, you can click on Preserve Model Scale and scale your drawing in here. So here we want to do 1 feet equals 1 inch, for example, and then click OK. So in your Illustrator file, it'll save with that scale. Now if I want to go Now if I want to open my AI file, now when going into my Illustrator file, you'll see that the line weights and line types that I had edited in Rhino are also changed here. And you can leave them as they are, or if you want to change the line types, you'll see that my layers are separate when exporting from Rhino. And so you can choose a certain layer and edit the line color. The line weight by changing the stroke, as well as the line type. So if you want a dashed line or a continuous line as well. So now I've shown you two methods of workflow, one through Rhino without using Illustrator and one exporting from Rhino to Illustrator, and whichever works best for you to create your 2D drawing should help you make a successful 2D drawing.